guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at the Rady Cave because guess what? We literally have some electrifying news from Kia. It's all the details about their new 2022 EV6. And of course, we're going to focus on that EV6 GT with 576 horsepower. But without further ado, let's dive into the details because I want to share what this vehicle is all about. And there it is. So there is the new 2022 Kia EV6. This particular one is, of course, the GT trim. Remember, like I said, 576 horsepower from 2 electric motors gives you the all-wheel drive. But let's talk about the nitty-gritty here. So you're looking at basically the first dedicated electric global modular platform from Kia. Rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. And yes, Kia has had the Niro for a few years. We're moving on from that because what they have proclaimed, what Kia is proclaiming, and I believe them in this whole endeavor, is that guess what? They're going to have 11 new electric models within the next few years. By 2026, 11 new EVs. And this EV6 is really paving the way. Now, when you're looking at this, there's some new technology. It's the world's first ever 800 volt multi-charging architecture that's going to give you that ultra fast DC capability. So what that means is when the battery is low, you go to charge it. Within 18 minutes, you're going to have 210 miles worth of range in that short amount of time. And that seems to be the one piece of fear factor when it comes to buying an EV that people have, is the length of time that it takes to recharge it. Now, when it comes to construction of this vehicle, many parts are being made out of recycled material and also vegan material. All the lighting that you see, exterior and interior, is 100% LED. When you're looking at the EV6, the wheelbase should look very familiar to you. And remember, the wheelbase is the gap between the front wheels and the rear wheels. That's straight from the Telluride. It's an 114.2 inch wheelbase, which is going to give you a nice ride. It's going to give you great stability, especially with that kind of power. We have a 77.4 kilowatt per hour lithium ion battery that Kia is saying 300-mile range. And that seems to be the magical number that everybody's shooting for. Look at the front end of the business there. That LED lighting, nobody does daytime running lamps like Kia does. They really do a great job making it stylish, making it aggressive, and also making it very, very unique. Even all the accents and touches, you're still gonna get that Tiger nose grille. Even though electric vehicles don't need a grille because there's no airflow that's needed for the electric motor, you're still getting those styling cues, which I think is very important because it helps us be familiarized with the vehicle. We like to think of it as a regular conventional internal combustion vehicle, and that I really think is going to stop a lot of people being confused by it. I love that nice low roof spoiler. Nothing too crazy on the height. You got the flush door handles. Wheels are so important for a vehicle. You're looking at 20-inch wheels, and the way it's going to roll out is that people are going to be able to pre-order what is being called that first edition. It's an EV6 first edition. It's 1,500 units, 1,500 units of first edition that's going to be available. Obviously, there'll be more after the June 3rd release date of that. But basically, what you're looking at, those are 20-inch wheels. Inside on the interior, I absolutely love those two 12-inch TFT displays. Remember, we're talking about thin filament transistor for not only the infotainment, but also for the gauge pod. You're going to get a Meridian premium sound system. So you're looking at a 14 speaker sound system. So if you're going for that first edition, 20-inch wheels, 14 speaker system, the Meridian sound system, you're going to have the dual motors set up and remote smart parking, which I think is one of those things that many people really want to have, that kind of technology. And then on top of that, you're going to get that augmented reality head-up display that you're seeing in this B-roll footage, which remember, we got from Kia. So thank you, Carla, over at Kia, and thank you everybody over there because they are really doing some interesting things. Look at that place for a purse, a merce, a sack, a satchel, an 8-pound sack of potatoes, you could fit there because you have a totally flat floor. That gives a lot more room for storage. Plus, if you're wondering, what about behind the rear seat? With the seats up, you're basically looking at a very, very useful over 20 cubic feet of space. So you fold those seats down, you're looking at 27.7 cubic feet of space. Fold the rear seats down, you're now looking at 53.5 cubic feet of space. You can see underneath the hood, the electric motor, a place to put your charging cable and everything, so everything is stowed away very nicely. And I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, are all these 576 horsepower? No. The way it's gonna work is you're gonna have 2 single motor rear-wheel drive examples and 2 dual motor all-wheel drive examples. And it's gonna range from horsepower from 167 horsepower. You could jump up to 218 horsepower, that's still rear-wheel drive. Then you could go 313 horsepower. And then what's gonna come in 2022 is the GT, and that's gonna be 576 horsepower. Wheels as small as 19-inch, as large as 21-inch. So 19, 20, and 21-inch wheels. And really showing Kia's direction with not only style, but like I said, with that EV direction. I really like the styling of this vehicle. It has a nice blend of sort of like a little bit of a crossover, a little bit of a hot hatch, also a little bit of a coupe in a way. Even though there's 4 doors, it looks like a coupe from certain angles. So they really did the styling, I think, so smart to fit a lot of people's likes and what people want going forward in that whole EV segment. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to compete with the Model Y, the Model 3 from Tesla, of course. You got your new examples with the Mach-E, the Mustang Mach-E. I hate calling it that. From Ford, how that's going to play in. And then, of course, we have a new example from Chevrolet with the Bolt. So lots of different companies throwing their hat in. Lots of companies saying that they're switching. They're switching to full EVs. Jaguar is supposed to be the first 2025. But let me know what you think about the styling of this EV6 and the way that the names are going to work. They're all going to be called EV, and then a number will follow it, and that will be the model designation. This one being an EV6, I think is smart to come in at this size. There's going to be some larger, some smaller, and then of course, what gets a lot of enthusiasts very, very excited like you and I is that GT example, 576 horsepower, 0 to 60 in less than 3.5 seconds. I wish they would just tell us what the 0 to 60 is, and I am going to zonk that, but less than 3.5 seconds. I'm not zonking the 0 to 60, 3.5 seconds, just the whole statement, less than 3.5 seconds. What does that really mean? 3.4, 3.3, 2.9. It's going to be interesting to see, will they meet that 300 range mark? And what does it look like when you start getting on throttle and using that power? How does that degrade the overall charge of that lithium-ion battery? But styling-wise, I'm not seeing a lot of zonks that I want to throw at it. Now at the front, there is a bit of gloss black, but we're going to have to wait to see this in person. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this will be on display, because guess what? We're going to be going to the Chicago Auto Show in July, and this would be perfect, don't you think, to do a walk around at that auto show. I love the side mirrors, and I'm really digging what they did with the lights and the wheels. I mean, the wheels really set the vehicle off, that nice spinning star. Another thing that I think is very fascinating is think about the Kia logo. They just changed it up, and I feel that that logo really has the identity of an electric vehicle. Look at it at the back there, so clean. The taillights, look at the instrumentation. Now, I don't mind that iPad style, especially that long, elongated version with the two 12 inches. I mean, you're getting two 12-inch screens. Steering wheel is tasteful, flat bottom. Even the way they did the center console, especially with the storage and those seats, they look good, but they also look like they're gonna be very comfortable as well. Ambient lighting, you see a little bit of ambient lighting there. Kia is really doing the business, and they're bringing it to the other brands, but hopefully this allowed you to really see what the heck is going on with this EV6 and the EV6 GT. If you want to keep seeing virtual unveils here on Raiti's Rides like this one, leave a comment in the comment section. Please let me know what you think about this vehicle. Kia goes through our comments. Let them know what you think. If you're excited, if you're bummed out, which one would you go with? Obviously, if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the first link, become a Radies Rides Patreon member. We have a lot of behind the scenes footage that you don't get to see here on Patreon, so you definitely want to do that. Click the second link in the description, get yourself some Radies Rides merch. Gotta give it up to the queen of the camera. She is the hardest working person in the whole videography field, no matter if it's YouTube, and Twitch, any of these other social media platforms. So definitely show Lori some love in the comment section. She set up the whole Rady Cave here. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.